to associate myself with Madam's submission, calling them environmental terrorists. In fact, they are even more than that, but for want of better description, we'll take it as that. But again, I'll be very surprised to understand why men in uniform will confront this menace without proper preparation. Myself, and I want to always use my environment as an example. I faced the menace of Fulani herdsmen in my constituency, Agugu area, some time ago. And indeed, at all times that I went to the bush with the soldiers, the police, I always had my own protective gear. It is not too expensive. So I wonder why it has become an issue. Because I had the bulletproof, even with the protective, there's something that goes in that will even attract the bullets, even if they are going close to where there is no protective gear. They call it, there is iron that is even in it. And I used to wear it. And it was not too expensive. I bought it myself, except that somebody borrowed it and didn't bring it. And that person probably is listening to me. I'll write me a letter very soon. Again, when it comes to the protection of the forest, the protection of the environment, I think the local people do it better. And I have sent you a lot of videos.
But we'll show it as we go on. The locals do it better when it comes to protecting the environment.
Because they know the environment. You see, if you come to my village, I know all the places, even the sacred places I know. So those who are even afraid of spiritualism, we know how the fortification is natural because we are citizens of the townships and districts. So I think the local people's approach has worked better for us. And indeed, come to think of even the Galamsey, in the recent past, last 2 weeks, and even before, personally I got involved. Your personal involvement as a community leader encourages the citizens to participate. In fact, some of them, even though they want to participate, they are afraid of consequences from maybe traditional leaders and some also local community leaders. So when you yourself, you get involved, you ward off all such threats, and therefore you encourage the local people to. And we have been very successful until recently that I'm hearing. And again, the worry that I have is that there is now the emergence of what they call responsible mining programs. In fact, this time that we want to eliminate the Galamsey people, we are doing something parallel. Absolutely. By empowering people to go there and just changing names and saying responsible for. I think if we could even stop the whole of mining for some time as we prepare to retool and reprogram, it will be better. But in this particular time that we are all suffering from this menace, we are still going to inaugurate people supposedly to do something different. What happens really on the ground is that these people come and the Galamseyers take over or send them back, or the Galamseyers get empowered because of the presence of these people, and they themselves turn up to be Galamseyers. So we don't solve any problem sending, the reconscript, programmers into their constituencies and saying that they are responsible mining. You see, the small-scale miners themselves, they are overtaken by the Galamseyers in most of the communities, and maybe they find it more productive or more profitable to engage in Galamsey rather than going through the program designed for them as small-scale miners. Because of the cost implications, they opt for Galamsey activities instead of the pre-arranged small-scale mining program. So I believe that this time, if all Ghana decided that let us stop all mining,
all forms of mining,
and let us redesign and retool, and then maybe resort to better technology to maybe mine, then that would be okay. But in the same time that we are fighting the menace, we are also inaugurating people coming under different names. And I don't think that is... When I heard of the president send people to Ahafu area 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was very happy because this fight is not ordinary. So when I heard the president, and it was getting dangerous because when the military men were there and they were chased out, I said, what? How can that be? It was getting dangerous. So the response from the government was very commendable. When the president said, go and discipline them. Indeed, we have rights, but all...
He can't say that.
Listen, Martin,
it's not to discipline them. They went to arrest her.
But what do you call arrest?
No.
I mean, can you arrest me?
Discipline.
Can you arrest me when I haven't done anything?
I said they are bringing
Martin, let me go. Let me go. Let me
Don't
go.
be encouraging.
Let me go. Martin,
okay.
To be honest with you, if these people had been successful in driving away our military, we wouldn't have had a country. Trust me. This is how military, how talks take over countries. It happens in Southern America, it happens everywhere. If they are able to overcome state security, oh, come on, we don't have a country. So I'm happy that the president sent the people there to go and make sure there is state authority there. Yeah. No. I mean, you can't have a state where there's no authority. In fact, our rights under the Constitution also come with responsibilities. You understand? Our rights come with responsibilities, and they are the checks on our rights. You can't have absolute right and say that whatever you do is within your right. How about the rights of the next person? How about the rights of the state? So we must all understand that with the enjoyment of our rights, we have responsibilities also to make sure there is equitable balance so that nobody undermines somebody's right. So I was happy. But I was also very disappointed last week when videos started coming to me of communities in my constituency, my own chiefs, saying that we endorsed the mining. I've seen how. Our community didn't know mining, and at least until the last day that I left office. And I ensured. Indeed, Minerals Commission, they invited me severally, and I appeared before them, and I told them that we were not ready for mining, that we would not agree and support any mining.
You have gold in your constituency.
Yes, we have gold.
The Forestry Commission invited you.
In fact,
and the Minerals Commission.
Minerals Commission, Forestry Commission, we didn't have a problem. The Forestry Commission problems were with
the logging.
No, not the logging. The cattle, the Fulani thing. But when we solved that problem, we were confronted with requests for mining leases and things like that. And I went to the man. I told him that it will not happen in my constituency, and it didn't happen. It is not because we had a standing force. No, we ourselves as community, we didn't want it. And in fact, if you look at some of the videos I have sent to you, the community members were saying we won't take it, even though the chiefs were saying we will support it. The people say they won't take it. And in most cases, we did some of the things, although somebody would call it illegal. When we were fighting the Fulani thing, there were holes. We call them valleys. That when the military were going, the cattle will go into the valleys, and the military couldn't go there because there's a gradient. On one occasion, we sounded, and indeed, I commend the military who came there. They sounded a warning: "Get out of here! Get out of here! We are going to take action here. Get out of here! All humans, take out of here!" After 20-30 minutes, they dropped the grenades. And there was absolute quietness.
So,
you understand?
Grenades in the area.
Yes, and absolute quietness because of the people the cattle that were disturbing. We had to go the extra mile of elimination. In fact, the order from the court was that we have to evacuate. Evacuation has a wide interpretation. So at that point, they had to. And that sent the warning to them that if you continue to misbehave, we have the potential to bring this. And you see, those days, I'll go back there without anything in my hand, but they were still afraid that Kwame, you see what I mean? So subsequent to that, it was the threat of a possible attack that warded off the... So this Galamsey thing, if we are not careful, and we allow so much of fine words, we will not solve the problem.
There has to be some
There has
drastic
to be
action.
some. That is why sometimes I don't always agree with people who call for a state of emergency. I don't always agree, because that can also bring other problems.